This woman already had a first child. While she was trying for the second child, she lost it. Third pregnancy, she lost it. Fourth pregnancy, she lost it. Even fifth pregnancy, she lost it. The husband's family started raising eyebrows. They tagged her a witch. Before we knew what was happening, she was thrown out of her husband's house, all because of blood group rhesus factor incompatibility. What do I mean by rhesus factor incompatibility? You know that positive or negative sign you see on your blood group, O positive, A negative, that positive or negative sign. If these signs are not compatible with your spouse's own, it can actually lead to very serious problems. Let me explain. So that rhesus factor you see is a protein that is found on our blood cells. If you have that protein on your blood cells, you'll be tagged as being rhesus positive. If you don't have that protein on your red blood cells, you'll be tagged as being rhesus negative. So for example now, my blood group is O positive. Positive on that O means I have rhesus factor. If I have a wife that is maybe B negative, negative on that blood group means she doesn't have that rhesus factor, that is, that protein is absent. So if both the father and the mother have positive, there's no issue. If they are both negative, that is, they don't have the proteins on the red blood cells, there's no problem. If the father is negative and the mother is positive, there is no problem. But once the father is positive and the mother is negative, that is where the problem arises. Now take for example, a positive man impregnates a negative woman. The developing baby will most likely take after the blood of the father. Now, that means the child will also carry the positive sign, that is, the protein will be present on the blood cells of the child. Now remember, the woman doesn't have that protein, but the man has it, and the child has taken after the blood of the man that has that protein. Once the body of the mother senses the presence of that protein in the child's blood, the body of that mother takes that protein as a foreign matter. So once the foreign matter is sensed, the next thing the body will do is to produce antibodies. Antibodies are like soldiers that fight against any foreign matter that comes to the body. So they sense that protein in the child's blood as a foreign matter. So they start fighting the child's blood, destroying the blood of the child. This is what causes complications. The child might die in the process. The child might become anemic in the process and cause several health conditions for the child. Now, most times, the child escapes this during the first pregnancy because the blood doesn't mix at any point. But at the point of delivery, when the blood mixes, the body of the mother quickly senses that protein that is present in the blood of the child and start producing antibodies. But the reason why the child will escape that attack at the first pregnancy is because the antibodies have not fully developed in the mother's body. So what the antibodies will now do is wait for the next pregnancy to come in. So as soon as the next pregnancy comes in, remember those antibodies the mother's body produced, those soldiers the mother's body produced during the first pregnancy that the child escaped. The second pregnancy will not be able to escape it this time. So those soldiers unleash and then start a very fierce war against the blood of that child. So they start destroying the blood cells of that child and then cause issues. They may even end up killing that child. But not to worry, there is a way out. If there's any potential of rhesus incompatibility happening between a man and a woman, there is a type of injection that is being given during pregnancy and after delivery, just to make sure that the mother's body doesn't produce those soldiers I mentioned earlier. But once these soldiers have been produced, there is really nothing this drug can do. That is why it is very important for you to know your blood group and your rhesus factor so as to avoid issues like this. Before you get pregnant, please make sure you know your blood group and your rhesus factor compatibility. And as soon as you get pregnant, please register for antenatal care and make sure you visit the hospital regularly for your antenatal care.